Welcome everyone and welcome to the stream. As always, I'm the Wombat of DM, and we're here for another one shot in the Seregen campaign. This is episode 32.5 on July 26th, and we are doing another one shot with our long separated friend Ulrich. How we doing, Ulrich?
Still imprisoned, I guess.
Yeah, I guess kind of. Like last we left off, Ulrich had kind of talked his way out of being imprisoned and the group. And unfortunately, with that talk, some of that water went under the bridge when Zippo uh, electrically made the fortress tense as he freed his genie from a amulet around his neck, causing things to escalate slightly. Although Ulrich managed to keep the peace by agreeing to become a ward at the of the Axe Clan in exchange for his friends going free. And so they exchanged. Well, they didn't exchange. They kind of he saw them off and gave them instructions. Um, Jordan murmured the word "two" in through the ring to Ulrich, and there was some tearful goodbyes, and the party took its leave. Uh, Ulrich got most of his equipment back, but is shadowed by a person much of the time. He has his own quarters to sleep in. Um, Ulrich, for the first day, is kind of shown around the camp and shown the limits of where he can and cannot go. He cannot leave or move about the camp unaccompanied, as he is a ward. Um, he's introduced to his ward keeper, um, so that I will pull up. Um, your ward keeper, his name is Horat Moonsire. Hoarat Moonsire. And he's the um, Goliath that is staying in the um, uh, hut with you. Let's see. Other than that, you're basically chartered with assisting in helping fortify the fortress even more, helping to dig ditches to drive for the Goliaths to drive wood into the ground, the wood embankments that you've seen throughout the camp. It seems they are preparing for, if there is a siege, to be ready for it. Um, you now know that these fortifications, that of which they are, weren't as the fortress used to be just the stone structures and not the log embankments. These are fairly new, uh, newly added things to the fortress. Um, by the time you're done for the day, it's well into the evening. You're fed and watered, and you get a good night's rest. Which you and you can tell me if there's anything that you're in this. I'm just kind of glossing over the first day, as there's a lot of things that you're being shown and not as much stuff that you have as much control of, because as you said, you are technically still a prisoner, so the instructions that they give are kind of what you do, but you can add your own flair to any of what I've just said.
Um, yeah, I think
he really, I don't know that Ulrich would have really grokked what's to mint when Jordan said it
No,
to him.
absolutely not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I think he's just going about it, So he's just playing it. This is just the first day. He's trying to keep his eyes open for opportunities on how he might escape eventually. But he's not going to do this while the others are relatively close by as far as he's concerned. He's expecting them to be only a day's travel by the end of his first day.
right.
Um, so he's gonna kind of keep it to the close to the chest. He's gonna get situated. He's going to, in his free time, think about half truths that he can give, which is to say, you know, if someone asks him about Necrata, what information does he know, which is very limited,
Right.
and what information can he provide that is pulled from his own knowledge of Serregen's history, um, but recontextualized to be Necrata's history. So, if he says something, he's going to try and give them information um, about something that maybe happened in 100 years ago, rather than today. If that makes sense.
Fair enough.
But he'll contextualize it as if that's the goings and comings of the now.
Okay. Absolutely. Fair enough. So, yeah, oddly enough, they don't really um, do much with you information wise this first day. Um, they kind of put you through the paces, get you used to uh, the areas at which you can go and what you can do and what is expected of you, which is mainly hard labor and staying with on the hill. Um, you can't enter the large building at the top without being invited to do so, and so on and so forth.
Okay. So I guess another thing he would probably be doing is trying to get a bead on Harat and what kind of individual is Harat.
Okay. Would you like to do an insight check then?
Yeah, that'd be fun. His wow, my insight is not great. The 7. That's a
Okay.
really silly thing for me to have done for this character.
Yeah, yeah, knowing what you know, but I guess that's why you have Roger.
Yeah,
That's why you guys make a good team.
yeah.
Um, Horat is quiet. He kind of um, doesn't say too much to you, except for when uh, you have he has specific instructions, or if you um, walk farther than he'd like you to, he'll tell you to slow down, things like that. That doesn't really happen too often with his long legs. He's able to keep pace with you, and he leads you where is needed. But if you stray for too long, he'll, say pick up the pace or look over his shoulder and like motion you over, things of that nature. Um, he seems to be very ritualistic in how he goes about his day. Um, he's ever watchful of the sun and moon, and seems to take his cues as to what to do when, based on the time of day. He always seems to have a knack for knowing when it's time to go do something without being told. Sure enough, in the morning, he wakes up as the sun rises, and kind of just rises out of bed and shakes you awake. Like that, he just seems to be either in tune with nature, or he's been doing this same schedule for God knows how long, that it's just instinctual now. Similar to how, like, we've described in the past how, like, for example, I would always wake up at 5:45 whether my alarm goes off or not. He seems to have a knack
Right.
for that.
Okay, got it. So this is just to make sure he's waking me up here the day after the rest of the party departed, correct?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So like,
Or is it that time again?
Indeed.
Alright, so what's on the agenda today?
First we dine, and then we work.
Alright, I just tell me what my work is today. I'm digging more for y'all, or maybe you want some information?
We shall see what the day holds.
Alright, well, um, guess, yeah, let's get to it.
So, did I mention your equipment? What did I say about your equipment?
you said I had much of my stuff back, but you didn't specify.
I'm going to actually. So, I said you had much of yourself stuff back, but not your weapon. Is that correct?
Again, you just said much of my stuff back,
Okay.
but that was it. But not everything. You said
so,
not everything.
So, I would say that your bag is still with the clan, the chief.
Okay.
Um,
So I have like armor or no?
yes, you have your armor. Although I'm pretty sure that at this point you're probably not wearing it, correct?
I mean, while I'm asleep, absolutely not.
Right.
No.
Would you be wearing it while you're digging and doing hard
I
labor?
can't imagine digging in chainmail would be
Right.
a pleasant experience. Yeah,
So
but he's got the ring of communication.
yes,
And I guess that's the clothes on his back. That's it.
yeah. So Orban's holding on to your bag. Presumably, he's still holding it in the main house where he got the other's equipment from. But yeah, you were given back your weapon for protection and for protecting the fortress if needed.
Oh, so I have my weapon. Okay.
You do.
Does that include
your axe?
My axe, no shield.
Shield. Yeah, you're giving back your shield as well.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so yeah, he would definitely keep the shield and axe with him. I don't imagine that he would, because he just dropped the shield.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great axe, so I guess he really wouldn't.
Have it slung under your back, over your back, maybe? Is that where you keep
Yeah,
it?
I mean, he would have it on the side. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like he'd set it aside when he's digging.
Yeah.
You know, there's having dug quite a fair amount in my life. There's no reason to encumber yourself if you don't need to.
Yeah. Fair. So I will say that when you were given back your weapons, you were basically given them with the understanding that they are there for your protection. You are a warrior. You are among the clan as the ward. While you are certainly under the Axe clan's protection, you might be expected to protect yourself in times of battle, and since it is a potentially hostile time, they're making fortifications and things like that, should an attack come, you're expected to help defend the fortress. if the weapons are used in any way against the clan itself, they are basically presumed an act of war, and you will be treated as an enemy.
Of course. Sorry, you said weapons plural, so does that mean like the crossbow and the mace are also amongst this?
I think they just gave you your shield and axe, what you utilized when you were combating them back in
Okay,
the
then
valley.
I think honestly, then the shield probably wouldn't have been given to me because I can't use it with the axe. It's a great axe.
Okay,
So,
fair. No shield
yeah.
then.
Okay, cool.
I'm just gonna put your character up, just so I have that. Okay. So, you know what? It's probably helpful if I have the map on the right. Let's get to the fortress map, and we can send Jordan to the GM layer, and same thing with Zippo. Your hut was down here. So basically, the eating area is this tall, this building here. It's not there to like house a whole bunch of people. As you can see, it's not a large structure, but it's where they prep food, and it's basically kind of like buffet style, where people take the food that they need, and then they can go elsewhere to eat it. Many are just sitting along the ridge here, or up here, eating before they go about their day. Some people stand and eat. There's plenty of stones up in this area as well that people have taken to utilize, or things like that. Some people even go back to their structures to eat. You are afforded a knife and a fork as well, which you were actually given the first day as basic equipment that you can utilize to eat with. They are larger than normal. They're about twice the size of your normal knife and fork,
Okay.
because they're, made for Goliaths.
Yeah. So what is it that I'm eating?
It's a spread of fruits, vegetables, and heartier foods. The eggs are reddish in color, and the fruits are fairly large. Obviously, the trees in the area are also large, so these are dire fruits.
Yeah, I think he'll mostly use his hands where he can.
Okay.
So, I guess what's the general demeanor amongst those that eat near me? Are they at all, I don't know, talkative? Do they keep their distance?
Yeah, it seems like most Goliaths don't interact with you. They don't give you a side eye. They look directly at you, but um, they don't interact with you more than that.
Right.
No nods, no sneers, nothing like that. Just kind of a look as if to say, "I am aware of you," and that's as far as it is. Um, Horat, you know what? I should probably get a Goliath token in here, right? Let's pull from the battle map. And then come back to this map. Can you see Mr. Horat here?
I do.
Okay, cool. So he kind of sits along the ridge right outside the building and looks out to the west while he eats quietly. He pats the cliff next to you to sit.
Yeah, well, I don't got any other invitations.
Did I say west? I meant east.
I followed.
So, alright, you got any, I don't know, family, siblings, kids, loved ones?
He nods and he says, I have many children.
Oh, yeah? How many? Like what's many mean for you all?
He thinks for a moment and starts to count. 6, 7.
Oh, wow. That's a fair amount. Are you close?
He kind of shrugs.
Yeah. That's just how it is sometimes. Oh. Yeah. Any idea what the day holds yet?
I have not been given instructions yet. We are plainly visible for whatever tasks are set upon us.
That's fair.
Looking out over the jungle, you see that the mountains kind of spreading around you. It's quite warm even now. It being morning, it seems like it's going to be another warm day. Yesterday was pretty grueling, especially since you hadn't had rest. Digging was a chore. You were given many water breaks or whatnot, and your needs were fulfilled in that way, but it was still, grueling as all hell.
So
The eggs
yeah.
are spicy, by the way.
Oh, okay. So, do they seem to be seasoned, or is it just like they're just naturally spicy?
You're not sure.
Okay. I think because Ulrich doesn't know necessarily, okay, what would whatever that produces this egg be something that might be found down in Negrata, he's not going to say anything about it.
Okay.
But yeah, he'll just continue to eat and wait for instructions in life.
Sounds good. I'm drawing you a box for your hut.
Oh, thanks.
I'll even put in hut in white, please. There it goes.
There it is.
You know what? Neither of those are great because they're not the right size. One more time. Once more with feeling. Let's do 40. Hut. Of course. Hut. There it goes. Perfect. A young boy, when you finish, when both of you finish your plate, comes over and takes the plate from both of you and runs it back into the food prep area. A young Goliath boy, I should say. His hair is not shaved.
But they all otherwise keep the heads shaved.
Male and female both, yes, have their head shaved if they are of warrior status, it seems like.
Mm-hmm. Little please.
I mean, it makes sense, right? Like, if I wanted to be watchful, I wouldn't want hair getting in my eyes.
Yeah, no, for sure.
As you both stand to get up, after having your plates taken, you see Orban standing right outside of the main building.
Alright, I just kind of like nod at him if he's not acknowledging me otherwise.
He's watching both of you, and as you notice him, he kind of motions you both over.
Alright, yeah, I mean, I make sure that Harat is ready to engage. Yeah, I did spell it, I just couldn't pronounce it for some reason.
You're fine.
Yeah, and say, well, should we head on over that way?
He silently begins walking over.
Okay.
So
I join him.
Yep. Ulrich, welcome.
See you again.
I believe we won't require you to dig today.
Yeah, that's good. Thanks. Appreciate it. What can I do for you instead?
Today I will be doing the digging. You may go, Horat.
Very, very good.
So he dismisses Horat, who silently shrugs and walks down. Presumably to do some other task. And Orban takes charge of you and ushers you in. The room looks familiar. The familiar map is still sitting on the table. There's a doorway on either side leading to the two roofed rooms, or the higher roofed rooms, I should say. He offers you a seat and then sits down at the head of the table.
Yep, I take a seat.
Um,
Did I lose you?
no, I'm still here.
Okay, sorry.
So, Orban kind of sits and he kind of looks you up and down and he says, "So you haven't tried to leave yet?"
I'm a man of my word, Orban. I said that I would stay here and give you the information you needed. Like I said, no one's out here trying to attack you. Per se, we're just defending ourselves if we are attacked. Or if we're politely asked to be prisoners. And sometimes we might get feisty.
Yeah, it seems like it's 50-50 at the moment, whether that works or not.
Well, you know. So, I'm going to stay here and do my bit until you feel exchange can be made.
Tell
To
me,
that endeavor. Oh, yes, please.
tell me, Ulrich. Um, I'd like to hear more about your experience with crossing into the Axe Clan lands, the lands of Relic.
I don't really know what more to tell you. All went down. We started heading north.
Yes, tell me more about when the wall went down. What were you doing there?
Well, you may or may not know this, but yeah, elves, they like to do ritual sacrifices. Are you aware of this? Sometimes they push folks into the wall. As someone friendly with them, I was helping them escort the prisoner at the time. The prisoner was shoved into the wall. Boom, wall's gone.
Let's get a deception check, please.
Oh yeah, of course. 14.
Thank you. And I'm gonna... Nope. Wrong one. Alright. D&D Beyond, don't do me dirty, please. Nope, that's not the right one. There we go. Insight is what stat? It's wisdom.
It's wisdom, yeah.
Okay. What can you tell me about this prisoner? What did he do to deserve such justice?
Well, I don't really, I'm not really part of that. I just kind of, you know, escort them. But my understanding, that's why I'm just trying to make sure you understand. I didn't judge him myself. My understanding was he had, well, burned a house down with a family inside.
And the wall just went down when
And more or
you
less,
pushed this person in.
that's pretty much it. Yeah.
And what happened next?
Well, our commander, the one who sent the worms. You know what I'm saying?
Did you say worms?
Storms. The
Storms.
storms.
Okay,
So
gotcha.
you know how the little guy had all of a sudden we had storms. Was that a little guy that we had in prisons? Remember that?
Orbit nods.
Yeah, well, we had he had a direct connection, and well, we were told, the little guy, we are to go north, see what peoples are still there. Or we did. Won't pretend to know the minds of those above me, especially those of longer life than my own. But my understanding was that it was suspected that the wall maybe had killed anyone on the other side. Who knew how long the wall went?
Um. All right. So Orbin considers all this for a bit. He reaches into his pack. Uh, it's kind of a side pack. It's not a fanny pack, but it's close. um, and he pulls out a familiar-looking book. It's the book Zippo got when the wall came down.
Yeah.
Says, if this is your story, how do you explain this?
Remind me, the player,
Sure.
what did it explicitly say in the book?
Would you like me to read you the book again?
I mean, I can roll a check if you want.
Yeah, that's fair.
I just,
Go ahead.
yeah, I don't know. It was only a few days ago, but for Ulrich, but it was weeks.
I mean,
I guess it was a
been
week for him.
at least a week. Let's see. The wall was destroyed on the 24th. It is now the 6th. So.
Okay. Yeah. What do you want me to roll? History?
Yeah, history.
23.
All right. I'm going to both post this in. It's a little long, but it kind of gives you an idea. Talks about the world being a fabrication. a carefully kept secret that is 3,000 years old. The wall's not a monster, it's not an enemy, it's a truce. It talks about why the wall was created. In the end,
It doesn't.
Go ahead.
Right, but it doesn't say anything specifically about who the peoples to the north were. Right. Cool.
Who the
That's-
people? Say that again.
It doesn't say anything about who the peoples of each of the countries or continents were. From my thoughts.
For the barbarians, a sacred. It says, let's see, the greedy humans to the east, to the north, the bloodthirsty barbarians, and to the south, the eternal vampires. Seregen, Relic, and Necrata. All three wanted the continent for their own, and were continually locked in a timeless war. Entire races were swallowed in the conflicts. At the end, and this is important for you to remember, the 3 keys were made for the wall in times of dire need. It describes what each key would be: a sacred axe of immense power for the barbarians. For you, it mentions the crown jewel. For the vampires, it's the statue of a female vampire depicting the mother of vampires. And then last, it says, after the spell is cast, my wallmakers will begin the work of erasing the history of before, to collect the histories and hide them or destroy them. Because of the pattern of the wall, it was inevitable that some would be trapped on the wrong side, separating people from their own nations. It's our hope that those that are seeds that will. So basically, it kind of implies that whoever holds this book opened the wall.
Right.
So basically, I don't know.
I mean,
how
I get
steely-eyed you are, but like
the diamonds, the crown, the key. I follow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know how Ulrich would feel seeing this book be revealed. That's for you to tell me. But
I think he'd say. I think he would say,
There, that's what appeared in the hands of the little guy when our boss was up.
tell me more. What do you mean?
So, push the guy through all. I should say, you don't like me. You let me keep a lot of my. I still got this ring on my finger, right? Don't take people's jewelry and things like that when we push them on the wall. Erase everything from them. He did have a little jewel on him around his neck. We figure that must be this.
so I said the wrong thing.
Did you just misspeak?
I meant the crescent moon necklace. Because, like I said, he's wearing it around his neck. But I realized jewel means diamond as well, so I just want to be very clear.
Yeah,
I do not mean the diamond.
For the vampires, just to restate it, it's a ticue of a female vampire with a crescent moon necklace on it.
Oh, it's a statue. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I read too quickly and read
that's absolutely fine. You got high enough history that I'm correcting you instead of going with it.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I think, he would say,
so he had this little talisman in his pocket, a little statue, vampire. We didn't think anything of it. That's fairly normal. You don't put these things up.
I think this is a big enough not lie now that we might need another deception.
Oh, of course, but no, it's bullshit. 12.
Okay. Um, yeah, Orban outright looks at you in disbelief that this is uh, something so so powerful just happened to be in this guy's pocket before he got shoved through the wall. Doesn't seem accurate to him, um, and he says, "What this seems to me to imply is that the wall was taken down on purpose by your team. That you use this prisoner as a catalyst for taking down the wall. I don't believe that he just happened to have a statue in his pocket."
All right. I mean, again, I did not commune him to death. It's, it's one of the weirder things they've had in their pockets before. I'll say that. But I'm just here to lead them to the death, to protect them through the wilds, get them to the wall, make sure no one goes through. Why do you think I carry a goddamn axe in my back? An executioner, man.
Uh, yeah, he's not really. He doesn't seem to be eating the porridge. Drinking the Kool-Aid, I guess, is the.
I guess let me just say this. You brought me here so that I could tell you about Rana. I kept me here. You didn't bring me. Well, I guess you got it. Anyway, that's semantics. I can tell you about Necrata. I can also tell you that I only know so much about what the plot was. You know, the guy didn't strike me as an arson. He was crying the whole way there. And, that happens sometimes. You don't want to die. You definitely don't want to get stuck into a wall. I'm a human who lives amongst the elves. Do you think they're going to share all of their plots with me?
You do seem to be very good at being a prisoner.
I mean, again, I was raised a human amongst a bunch of elves. Do you think that was exactly the best experience? Kind of. Do what you're told. Keep your head down. Be helpful. Make sure that you don't cause trouble.
So you hold no love for these elves. You were just amongst them. Is that what you say?
I mean, I've had my share of love, if you know what I mean, but I've no, I've no dedication to them, especially if you're telling me that I was sent there not to just execute a man, but to tear down the wall. I thought that was all happenstance. They didn't show me what was in that book, but and I ain't gonna pretend that I weren't friendly with the folks you found me with. You know, some of them, human, that little kobold. Although kobold's a little bit of a slippier one, I will say. He has some direct connection to, as I'm saying, to higher powers. But
You kept
friends,
strange company indeed. So little elves and so many other creatures. A kobold, a halfling.
You saw the elves.
Sorry, he didn't see the halfling. So a kobold, humans, half-elves, elves.
Yep. You saw.
Did he see all the elves? I mean,
no, he just saw a few elves. Belzian's half-elf, and then your character, and Roger.
Right. But he did see.
You, I mean Gormier.
He did see Gormier. Okay. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, well, you saw.
You just didn't see the two other elves and then the halfling.
Yeah. Right. You saw some of them. There were more hidden around in the woods. They would have left, as was the agreement. Again, whether they intended fully to open up the wall and if they expected for it to work, I can't say. He didn't tell me. But what they did tell me is, alright, this is now a mission to see if anyone yet lives beyond the wall. And then I got captured like a fool. No one wants more.
We have been tracking your party.
Yeah?
We are aware of who else is among your group.
Well, and that goes to show it.
Go ahead.
Imagine you saw some more elves in the half. I don't.
He nods.
Yeah. So?
What are their roles in your group? If you're the executioner and the kobold's the messenger.
The elves believe there must always be a witness. The halfling was the one who reported the crowd. The elves were the ones who serve on the higher courts, and I don't think they commuted the sentence, but they are representatives, witnesses. And then the half-elf, he was the one who lost the family. It was his brother's home.
Would you like Inception roll again?
Yeah, go ahead.
15 this time.
Orban nods attentively. He switches gears a bit, and he basically has a blank page to fit against his map of both. Actually, has two blank pages to fit against the map of Relic. So kind of like it's he's trying to fill in the pieces of the map that they don't have mapped. You know, because he has a map of Relic. So obviously he needs to add to it without, you know, having more page. He needs to have another page to do it. Out of character, that's how I had the map drawn out originally.
Oh, nice.
3 different pages. And I know you can't see this because I don't have my camera on Discord up, but so this is the if you look on Twitch, you can see that I had 3 pages, one for each area.
Well, I just to not screw my internet up and not
Yeah,
going to go to
that's
Discord,
fine.
but
But yeah,
or Twitch rather.
that's how I had it.
Nice.
Oop, I have it upside down. So it'd be like that, and then like that. So you notice that the page to the east has 2 forests marked to the east of where the wall is drawn on the map. You don't see much further than that, so it seems like they've done a cursory look into Seregen, and have marked
Okay.
where the forest
To the
are
west,
there.
then. I was a little confused.
So did I say east?
Okay,
To the
yeah.
west, yes.
Yeah.
And then to the south, the direct south below the Axe Clans, the forest there is marked, as well as the river over here.
Okay.
Not the whole river, just like this area of the river is marked.
Does this map look old to me?
The relic map looks old. The other 2, they look like they're hastily drawn in.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think about, like, logistically. We only made it here from the day of the wall. Like, that's 5 times the distance, especially if they're covering the entire forests.
So presumably the Axe Clan is not the only one involved in gathering this intelligence.
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You do know out of in character and out of character that the Rock Clan and the Tusk Clan are both allied with the Axe Clan. And you now know that Rock is spelled R-O-C from the markings on the map.
Right.
So that being said, I guess I wonder, would your character have heard stories of rocks? Because there's not. You know what? There probably is a few rocks in Seregen, but they're more rare. So you probably know what a rock is. So you know that
the same
large
thing that
rocks.
the DM / D&D fanatic, knows what a rock is.
Yeah, a giant bird of prey.
Yeah.
A thunderbird.
Yeah. So I assume probably it's people that ride the rocks.
That's a fair assumption.
Okay.
So that being said, there's the potential of covering ground fairly quickly.
Yeah, a little faster, yeah.
Well, I see you've been making progress.
Yeah, but the easiest progress would be if what you could tell us about the southern lands. Where, what can we expect the further south we go? If you were to attack the southern lands, what would you attack first? Things of that nature. What you said that the forces to the south aren't to be reckoned with. So, what can you tell me about them and whatnot?
Well, as as I said, the first thing is that they are not someone to be reckoned with. That the South is not to be reckoned with. Rather, Necrata is not something you want to really be mucking about in too much. At least, unless you plan to unite all the clans against, then maybe you might stand a chance. But to the north, you have the land of the elves, where these forests are. And the further south you go, the more and more you encounter the immortals, vampires. Are you familiar with what a dragon is, Orban?
Yes, there's several clans of dragons within our lands.
Yeah, well, just like I'm a human who born of a family of humans that was raised proud of. Other than, what do they call it? There's this place over here in the west, whatever. A few dragons must have been over there when the wall broke down. You know what centuries on centuries some dragons can make?
You broke up a little bit there. Centuries and centuries dragons can make, I heard.
Centuries and centuries of vampires working with a few dragons. You know what that might make?
What?
Death. They call it Flying Doom.
Did you just say flying dude?
Flying Doom.
A flying doom.
Yes,
I'm like,
Flying Doom.
I was like,
Flying
there was
dude.
this whole build up. We call it flying
The
dude.
Flying Dude. I mean, Flying Doom's not that much better, but I don't think that he's too artistic.
Call it Flying Doom. It is dragon through romantic rituals has been infused with vampiric blood. It rains death down upon those below it.
Orban's scrawling down some notes on a page next to him.
That forest you see with that you've got on your map there, that is the home of the elves. They used to stretch further south until the uprisings.
Uprisings.
Yes. Once the wall, I was telling you my histories. I wasn't alive, of course, but once the wall went up, elves, their more hateful days, well, they could no longer war to the north, now could they? So instead, they took their war south, believing that it was the vampires that had caused the wall, believing that the vampires would one day destroy them all.
So you say
In
that...
time,
Oh, go ahead.
oh, I was just going to say, in time, over centuries, the elves became more and more fearful. Vampires. Dragons became more and more corrupted by the vampires. Eventually, an uprising was held, and now only this fragment of the forest remains.
Feel free to draw on the map the size of the forest that you draw for him.
Yeah, I think he would say that it stretched like down here at one point.
Okay.
Now, again, it's the history I've been taught. house that was topped to the wall was never going to come crumbling down. So take with this a grain of salt. I'm trying to do what I can to inform you, Orban. What I can do is tell you I've seen flying doom. Do not want to face it.
Are you kind of keeping an eye on what he writes down, or do you care?
Yeah, I think he's noting. I don't know if I can see. I assumed he was kind of like across from me, but if I
He
can't,
is. He's like caddy. He like you're. He's on the head of the table, and he has you sitting down to his left.
right?
So
I mean,
you could try and see what he's writing.
yeah, I think mostly. I think I'm just trying to know. I think he's just trying to know when he writes.
Okay.
Based on what Ulrich is saying, and if he can like get a little peek at one moment, but he's not gonna like actively keep trying to be like
Right.
what you read, looking at it.
All right. Why don't you just give me a perception when you decide you want to take a peek, and we'll see how that goes.
Sure.
In the meantime, unless that's now, he asks you to basically draw an accurate map of today's Necrata and where settlements are located at, where the forest currently is, things like that.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna delete that red line.
That's fine.
I think what Ulrich is going to literally do, because only the forest is filled in, correct?
So I would say the top part of the forest, there's no end to it. So
there's
there's
no end to it.
Like this.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
this.
Okay.
And then there's an X there.
I think what Ulrich would do is, as much as he can kind of like make it make sense, he would kind of draw, at least for the coastlines, he would draw the coastlines of the red and gray coast. But not the filling in. So he's just trying to like, because presumably they don't have all these coastlines. So he's going to borrow Seregen's coast to fill in to this, so that he has something to draw within. And then he's just going to kind of make shit up. I think.
And feel free to mark it up as you want.
Yeah. So
I'll be getting rid of it after the session's done. So
using Seregen's coast, I think he would say the forest, because I said previously that it went so far. I think he'd say it goes like here.
Okay.
For the forest, I think he would say that kind of like in the middle bit here would be where the seat of power exists for the vampires.
Flash that one more time.
Oh,
okay,
sorry.
I see it. Yeah.
Yeah, I just did this big old scribble. I should probably be using a different color. Sorry about that.
Oh, red's fine. Red's perfect.
Okay. And I think he would just occasionally put down like, there's civilization here. There's one along this coast. There's this is where they make flying dooms.
Okay.
Down here. And he would say that there's I think because he does know enough of his own geography, he would say there's a desert of sorts here, right, near the mountains of Dis. I think he would say that there is a desert that that comes through here. I think he would probably only say it covers this much. And he would say that this is a barren waste of undead bones and corpses.
Okay.
And I think he'd say there's another civilization like right here near that, and then I think he's just gonna try and plot out. Yeah, there's civilizations here and here, and
And of course, there are more like little towns and things like that. I'm sorry, I didn't even tell you. So I live right here.
nope, sorry, he wouldn't say that because I have no idea what's there, and he knows that they went through that. So he would say,
I live right here at the edge of the forest. And we made our way up to the north, followed through the forest to this wall.
Are there?
Now, I know you're probably going to ask.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, I was going to say, you're probably going to ask, why didn't we go to the western wall instead of the northern wall? Western wall is reserved for honorable heads, those who choose to exit.
Corbin writes this down as well.
So if you choose to end your life, you can go to the western wall. If you are to be exiled, or to be placed through the northern wall in the hopes that maybe the spirits of the giants will fight and crush you. If your soul is pushed through, you get what I mean?
He's writing down some notes about the western wall and the northern wall. So there's only one elven settlement in the entire elven forest. Tell me where they are close to to the borders.
Sorry. So this is right here. Supposed to be where the hidden folk lie. The clan of elves that only keep at the trees. They do not walk on the ground. Another, not far from where the river lies. Then another in this forest here. But again, I'm just noting where some of the bigger settlements are. I can't possibly tell you where every little village, hamlet, every little thing is. This should be majority of large settlements.
If you were to make an attack against these areas, where would you, as a soldier, start? What would be the most strategic?
Well, first,
I understand that the first rule is not get into a fight if you don't want to be in a fight, right? But if we must, where would we start?
again, better have everyone united on this. But I suppose I would start with this one right here. This is the settlement known as Virus. Now, why I suggest this is these folks, as I said, are the hidden ones. They are a reclusive clan. They know the forests better than any of the elves. They are known to uh, well, they are known to offer sacrifices to the vampires for great power. So I would be careful with that. Virus, though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm just gonna say the last thing.
Virus, though, as you can see, there's this river here that leads further to the south. Now, you could use that river after it twists and turns and eventually makes its way down to the south. A very quick and safe, relatively safe route to the land further south. For example, find Learden here. I think if you were to shore up the coast, that might be your best bet. But again, I don't know how you would ever take on a flying dude.
I think this is as Ulrich's trying to sell this. I think this is also the time that he might kind of glance at the book.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Give me a percent. Okay, 15. All right. So, you see at the top of his notes, he's written the word Dracolich. He's noted also the Western Wall importance, and he has noted down the towns to the south of the Black Clans, the prime target, and also he has merfolk in question mark for coastal assault.
Okay. But I only had a 6 on my deception, so.
Yep. Orban places down his pen mid-sentence, and by pen I mean quill. It seems to be a large feather, presumably a rock feather. And he says, "You've been very helpful, Ulrich."
Oh, shit. I have an inspiration that I just now realized. I've been on the map drawing.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any chance I can burn that before he responds?
Sure.
Thank you. How about a 15 for a deception instead?
Okay.
It's not a lot better, but it's still better than a damn 6.
Yeah. All right. That does change my response. He was about to dismiss you.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was fun. I like this.
Me too. I'm just kind of thinking about how screwed I am. Just making it up as I go.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but it's fun because well, I obviously know Necrata, right? So it's fun to see where you've placed importance. It's almost So it kind of is two things. It's one, your character's hastily making things up, but it's also you interacting with the map as a player and guessing at things that might be true or might not be. You're making educated guesses, and that's kind of fascinating. So, um, I also would like to know what your inner monologue is right now, seeing that you saw that there's an X on Darren, that they've marked the Darren on the map.
So I think I apologize. I did miss that. I think he I think he'd be very nervous about this. He's aware of the Changeling clan.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that could spell. He understands what a Changeling is, and that could spell considerable trouble in a lot of regards for him immediately. But also, it could. He's a noble. They could go find his family's manor and see a painting of him in there. That'd be a not that they know what he looks like. That would be potentially bad one day.
Mm-hmm.
But more important, of course, this is it's his home. He doesn't want them to destroy it, so he's kind of like how do I draw them away without drawing their attention to that?
Yes. Being that you're a noble and that you are emotional about this, I am going to give you advantage on if you directly speak about Darren. You have um, one advantage roll if you ever have the need to lie about your homeland.
Appreciate that.
Um,
I do appreciate
and and that's mainly because, like, as a noble, you are going to select your words as carefully as possible in this. So does that make sense? But you're also emotional, so you'll only get one. After that, if you don't do well, your flight, fight, or freeze mentality will start to take over. If that makes sense, you know what I mean. So you won't get the advantage anymore. But right now, your sense of duty, if you are questions about Darren or you lie about the West at all in that, or East in that way, West. I was right. Um, uh, just keep that in mind.
Got it.
Um, hmm. This book states that um, information about the wall was removed from common knowledge in the South. And yet you and your party all seem to be aware of the clans.
Yeah.
Why?
It's not so much that we're aware entirely of the clans, more that it's superstitions. That makes sense. So I'm relatively quick study. I have I have been raised my entire life on stories that the giants will get you, the giants will get you, and that the giants lived in the north. Of course, it never made any sense because we lived in the north, right? So it was said that the giants caused the wall. That's it. That's the best we ever had. So it was believed, I guess, sort of correctly, that through the wall there were giants. That's why people didn't come out. Like, did you have any stories about the wall yourself? Surely you had something. You just thought it was a big, nasty death machine.
Oh, the wall for us. Actually, give me a sec. I don't want to misspeak here.
Now, while you're saying that, I think he'll tack on.
I mean, the little one, Zippo, the kobold, he believed 100% that there were more dragons beyond the wall. That it was just something he believed. He had no basis for that. He just believed there were dragons that were not impacted by our gracious vampiric lords. Or influence is the word I want, not impacted.
In Relic, we saw the wall as a barrier, keeping us from the lands that rightfully belong to the barbarians.
You know, that's. I mean, why did you think there was land beyond?
Because
No.
we, what? He seems to be confused by the question. Like, of course there was lands on the other side of the wall. We
Right, and for us, of course, there was giants on the other side of the wall.
Well, there certainly were before uh, our clans united and threw off their yoke.
Right. So I don't really understand what you're asking me then, because you knew for some reason that there were lands beyond, presumably through your passed down histories and stories. We knew there were giants beyond our side of the wall through our passed down legends and stories and, warnings to our little ones.
We also knew that the wall was erected. But your book implies that information was kept secret.
Right? Did I ever say anything about that being different?
Well, that was my initial question, so I was clarifying.
Oh, I see. No, I mean, again, they ain't tell me anything about the secret plan of theirs or anything. I was just executing the prisoner, and I know no knowledge of what, other than, again, the idea that I guess I did say the giants made the walls, but, that's how all them fairy tales go, right? Like, who put the sun in the sky? Who put the stars in the sky? You have probably mythos around that are different from just saying it was the 12.
No, we believe the 12 did that.
Yeah, well, I mean, so do I. But and that little dragon boy, Zippo, you ask him, he'd say that each of those are a dragon that's surrounded in fire and yada yada yada. Dragon, this dragon, that. But what proof does he have? It's just something that he believes that someone told him when he was fresh out of the egg. And likewise, the elves, they all said, well, there are giants on the other side. And it's the giants that put this wall here.
Which of the
So,
12 do you
that's
are you partial to, Ulrich?
uh, self. I am partial to, and I'm thinking about whether I want to lie on this real quick.
Sure.
Because, of course, I'm partial to God of War,
I will remind you
Zarek.
that Orban has a um,
As my key.
sigil of Zarek as a necklace.
Yeah, yeah, I do recall that. Yeah, I'm just trying to think about about what that says to me. If that's too revealing. Um, yeah, I mean, I am most partial to Zarek. You know, mostly I do executions, but every now and then I have to defend a home from wild beasts and things like that. I'm always looking for safety.
All right. From the other room, it's to the right, not the left. I guess at the moment you were left because you're sitting on the left-hand side of the table. So the room behind you. Think of the table as him sitting at the head of it, facing the door. So, on the map, it would have been the easternmost building. Of course, the map's not up right now, so.
I know what you mean, though.
Yeah,
Where
I'm
we
just
got our
giving you a
porridge.
visual. A Goliath pokes his head into the room, holding something in his hand, and he says, "Orban, a word." Orban says, "One moment," and steps over into the other room. Would you like to make a perception check to see what the Goliath was holding?
Yeah, just not in this moment, but at that moment when he pokes his head in.
Yes.
Yeah, just a 10.
Okay. There seemed to be an image. Um, um, you didn't recognize anything about the image, but like it was like an image of light. As if he was seeing a projected scene of some sort.
Okay.
It reminds you of what Jordan described messaging to look like, where he was able to see Marius's face when he messaged him. But this didn't look like a person's face. You just caught a glimpse of like foliage.
Okay. I think he'll just kind of think about that for a second, but he wasn't like drinking anything, right? Like he's not drinking anything.
No.
Um,
There's an inkwell, a long feather,
okay.
and the map.
How close is the inkwell to me and the map?
Fairly close.
Okay.
You could reach over and touch it.
I'm not like bound in any way,
Nope.
right? And I was given the pin at one point, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the pin and so how big is this map? Just remind me.
So the map itself of the Axe Clan is the size. To put it into layman's terms, the sizes of 6 pieces of paper of 8x10s or 8x11, 8.5x11s in a 6 pattern. So 2 rows of 3. It's about that size. So 8.5 times 3 by 22.
Feet?
Inches.
Inches. Sorry.
8.5 by 11
like,
sheets of paper.
Okay. I'm sorry. For some reason, my mind just was like, "What?"
Yeah.
Okay. So.
And then the other 2 pages are like a little smaller, like, but not by much, and they're mostly blank.
Okay. So, what I think he would like to do is he would like to put the inkwell right here.
And actually, now that you're studying it, you realize it's not actually paper at all. It's thin enough to be paper. It's a little bit more rigid. It's actually finely pressed leather.
That makes sense. Yeah, this may not work, but we're still gonna do it. But anyway, put the inkwell here, where I've drawn the circle between the 2 forests in Seregen, and going to be working just kind of like marking up something. I'd say that I am putting another X right here and writing the words that which sleeps under the water.
Where? I missed.
Down.
Oh.
Yeah.
Down. Why? I can't click. There we go.
Like here.
Okay. All right.
So like, yeah, I'm writing out the words that which sleeps under the lake or something like that. And I go, oh god damn it! I accidentally knock over the inkwell to spill onto Darren Yang.
Okay.
Oh, gosh. Damn it. I'm sorry. I screwed up, Orban. Oh, God, he's going to be so mad at me.
Something like that?
Yeah, he's just kind of like mumbling. Yeah, exactly.
I give Ulrich 1 session with this map, and look at it. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Orban kind of pokes his head back through, sees that you've spilled it, and rushes over to the map.
I'm so sorry. I was just trying to fill this out. I just remembered that I didn't tell you about that which sleeps under the water.
Uh,
And
give me a deception.
Yeah. 18.
All right. Let's roll his opposed. All right. So let me describe the scene to you. Orban's generally nonchalant and somewhat amiable demeanor suddenly grows cold. Not that he was, the warmest character by far, but you would have almost preferred that he started yelling at you to what happened. Almost like, how a parent is more intimidating when they don't yell, but they're upset. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I get it.
Okay. And he said shortly, "I will clean this up. Go back to the trenches and begin digging. I will call you when this is repaired. And we will resume."
I'm so sorry.
And he dismisses you. So do you leave?
Yeah, I mean, I do exactly what he tells me to do.
Okay. I will note that there are curtains on both of the doors on either exit, aside from the main doors that you're leaving from, so you won't be able to see into those rooms. But if you want to head out toward that door by hugging the wall, you might be able to try and make a perception not sight based. Or maybe even brush the curtain if that's something that you're looking to do. Or are you just gonna get out of there because you're already on borrowed time?
He's not looking to make trouble.
Okay.
He's not gonna rock the boat any more than he has.
Okay. You continue to dig trenches for the rest of the day, and into the evening. You were patted on the back by Horat. He says simply, "Good," and then starts to motion you to that you're done for the day, basically. Orban gets you eventually and brings you back into the conference room. There are no maps on the table at this point. There is a stain on the table where some of the ink that had spilled onto the map leaked off, and it had not. It's staining the wood. In its place is a simple stone slate with runes on it that are lit up. and you see it's projecting an image. It's kind of an over the head view, and you can see Zippo resting. It looks like the party has stopped for the night.
Hey, look at that.
You see the rest of your group there as well, and you also hear audio of all of this. Presumably this means that Orban has been monitoring the group both in sight and sound since they left, meaning that anything that the group talked about over the last 2 days, Orban is aware of.
Oh. How are they? See, they're making fast time. By the looks of it.
Indeed.
Oh.
They are resting close to the southern border. As you said, they are returning to Necrata, but well, let's just say that is the only thing that they've confirmed of your story.
Cool. I mean, most of my story has been about Mikado, so what do you mean?
Your party is from the west, Ulrich.
Yeah, the western bit of Necrata. Right.
No. From Seregen.
Right. Oh,
The human lands.
yes. That's what you're telling me, but what do you want me to say to that, Organ?
I don't think that you spilled that ink on purpose. I heard quite a few stories from your teammates. They were telling stories to a tree. He kind of shakes his head. And, well, between that and other conversations that they had, the jig is up.
All right. So, can you blame me, Orban? I never lied to you about our intentions here. We didn't come here to attack you. Would you be willfully imprisoned if you wandered on into a territory that wasn't yours? You just didn't know people were there? Or what those people would like? Do you allow yourself to be imprisoned? Much work, hot. Would you be willing to talk about your homeland much? Especially when they talk about expanding. There are people of war. I worship Derek like you. No fool. I'm not gonna.
I'm not the one that would have bargained my life for information, but you did.
I did. Because frankly, I worship Zarek differently than you. Conquest isn't just about marching across a land. It's about knowing things. You wouldn't have given information up about your land like I didn't want to give information up about my land. But if I was here, I could know what kind of people you are, whether we had to fear you. So, you've already said your intentions. Lands beyond the walls belong to the barbarians. What do you do with those lands? Why do you want a war?
He smirks and he says, "Our reasons are our own."
Well,
Is there anyone else in this room?
No.
what's next? What's next for me?
Why shouldn't we go west?
Because I don't really think there's anything there for you.
No. Something important enough to try and... Well, we've been over that.
You don't care about your people?
I do.
What do you do? Yeah, so what would you do when you go there? Huh? Do you think that those people are going to live? You think that they're not going to be subjected to your violence? That's why I lie. That doesn't mean that there's anything there that's worth it to you. That just means there are people who do not deserve your violence. That's all that means, Orban. It's as simple as that.
Are there any lands in Seregen that nobody would meet with resistance us taking? Such as the borders around the wall? Or...
Of course you're going to meet resistance. It's not your land. People are going to resist. You arrested me, imprisoned me, because I walked through your land. You come marching up with an army, people are going to resist.
So you don't know much about the South at all, then?
I know diddler's squat about the South. I know what's in that damn book again. I didn't expect damn walls to fall. I didn't know there were people beyond the walls. It was absolute happenstance as far as I'm concerned.
So how did
I
you
didn't
get
lie
this
about-
book?
There's that stupid little dragonborn, or kobold, sorry. A stupid little kobold thought there were dragons on the other side of this wall. He had a voice talking to him, telling him to go through the wall, go through the wall. He had the jewel that was mentioned in that. And he did it. Damn wall fell. You know what wasn't here to greet him? They weren't dragons. It was you lot.
He nods at this.
I love him. He was just a kid. But God damn if this didn't cause biggest trouble in my life. So,
So,
what's next?
Well, you remain as a ward.
Yeah.
Obviously, um, once your party reaches the other side of the wall, we'll figure out what to do, especially since I'm pretty much gathering here that you wish not to talk about your lands. You've made every
Yep.
effort to not. So, our deal is, well, no deal at all.
And with that, I immediately lunge at him to try and like crack his head against the stone.
Okay.
What would you like me to roll for that? I mean, I'm attacking, so I don't know how you want to. Just an unarmed strike.
So you're just hitting him. You're not even using your axe.
I mean, if he allowed me in here with my axe,
He
I'll
did.
absolutely use the axe. Yeah, absolutely. I just immediately go at him with the axe.
Okay.
I just say
I'll also let you know he has his axe as well.
that's a-okay.
All right.
You know what though? Actually, let me just check one thing. Okay. That's good to know. And then that requires all of that. Uh, we'll do. Yeah, I just go at him with the axe.
Okay.
I get 2 attacks per action. 27 and a 24 are my 2 hits. Attacks.
Those are both going to be hits.
Okay. Yeah, I said I draw. I said, well, as long as it's severed, and you're going to stack some spells onto that because we're going to do 2 second-level spells for my divine strikes
Okay.
and or divine smites rather. So it's total of 3d8 additional radiant damage, and then initial 1d12 plus 5. So 11, 16 plus 68 radiant damage for a grand total of 27.
$27 damage total for.
No, sorry. 27 radiant damage.
Okay.
11 slashing damage, 16 slashing damage. So that's 27 plus 27 for a grand total of 54.
Okay. I'm starting an encounter.
Thank you for not having me roll initiative on that.
Yeah, it's a surprise round. You got him.
Appreciate it. If he is surprised, can I get my advantage on that first attack?
You want to see if you get a 20?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just in case. Yeah, I mean, sorry, I did. Just in case you were gonna say yes, it was just a 21. Which is not my initiative. Well, I guess it is in this case. You want me to roll initiative?
Yeah. Let's hang on a sec. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and roll initiative. Oh damn.
23. And the last thing I would have done as a bonus action is summoned my spiritual weapon. So another axe is floating next to me, and it will make an attack against him for 25 to hit.
Does it go the same round it gets summoned?
It does, yeah. You summon it, it makes an attack, and then you can do stuff later. So it was 7 force damage.
Okay.
Oh no, actually, I'm sorry, 9. Okay, I apologize. I hit it twice. Is it 18 it hits?
It does.
It does, okay, so it's 9 force damage.
Okay. So just to summarize, you did
63 damage in total to him.
Okay, so I have to break this down by attack. So the first attack.
First attack did 11 plus 6 plus 5. I'm an idiot. 22. 22, half of which is radiant, half of which is slashing.
Okay. So the first one is 23, you said?
22, half of which is slashing, half of which is radiant.
Okay. He's going to use Stone's Endurance, which reduces the damage taken by 9. Actually, sorry, 11. So if you did 22...
So he took 11.
He took 11.
Yeah. Cool.
Alright, second attack?
Second attack was 16 slashing plus 16 radiant.
So 32. Alright. And then the third attack was 9?
The third attack was 9 force.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Your bludgeoning of him seriously injures him as you drive not 1, not 2, but 3 axes. Axe blows into his body. Not 3 axes, 2 axes, but 3 hits.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's not dead.
Yep. Kind of assumed.
So he roars out a roar, but there's a tinge of amusement in it, almost as if he's like, "Yes, finally some battle, some fighting you," he says, and he attacks. All right, he's attacking with his great axe.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good.
What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say it's at 13 AC at this point.
So the first attack is a crit.
Great.
Wait, what? That looks weird. Game log. Okay. So I rolled a 14 for damage, and then my second roll is a 7. So that would be 21 damage for my first attack.
Okay. Take it.
My second attack is a 10 and misses. So
Okay.
he brings the axe down on you with his full might. You're not wearing your chainmail at the moment, right? So that's why it was the 13. So he gets a good chunk into you as he slams it into your, say, leg, something of that nature. And then the second one, it's kind of a glancing blow. He kind of misses It kind of skids along your side and lands into the table, taking a chunk out of the table.
Okay. If he's got nothing else, I'll go for
your
it.
turn.
Cool. Gonna make sure. Don't tell me the result on this, please, because. Okay, well, I do know that hits. And don't tell me whether that hits or not. I'm going to use my Channel Divinity to add 10 to that and turn it to a 25.
Okay.
So that'll definitely hit. And then that's plus another spell slot burned for smites. Okay, so the first attack is going to be 19 damage, 12 of which is slashing. The rest is radiant.
Okay.
Second attack is going to be 12 slashing again, plus another bit of radiance. That is
Wow.
12 radiance this time. If he's still up, we'll use the bonus action to do the spiritual weapon attack.
He's still up.
Okay. 22.
That's a hit.
And that's going to be 7 force damage.
All right. He is barely alive. And that's your round, right?
That is it. I'm thinking about I use bonus. That takes a bonus action to do the attack. Let me just double check that because it would be nice if that was for some reason. I'm sure it's not, but spiritual weapon is weird. No, okay, so I can't do anything else.
As a bonus action on your turn, you can move the weapon and attack.
Yeah, and attack. Yeah. Oh, that's it.
All right. Orban, at this point, attempts to grapple you.
Ooh, I only rolled a 9 on my athletics.
I see that.
Sucks.
And yet, somehow, you still manage to shrug him off.
Okay. Thanks.
Yep. Grapple takes the full action, right? Even if I have multi-attack?
It replaces... It replaces one of your attacks.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I would say just replace. Yeah, if this was a non-humanoid, I might go, but yeah.
Him being off, thrown off, obviously has kind of surprised him some, and he hastily makes an attack to try and subdue you. And again misses, collapsing the leg of the table and causing the tablet to topple to the ground.
Love it.
You're up.
How big is that tablet?
It's about... I'm motioning, but you can't see it. It's
yeah.
So I have a stenopad that's 6 inches by 9 inches. It's about that size.
So it's the size of like a tablet.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, cool.
Bigger than the tablet, the Ashika tablet, but
Yeah,
not by much.
yeah, but something that one could reasonably carry.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna blow the bonus action first. I'm gonna have it attack him. For 15.
That's a hit.
Okay, man, I wasted that fine. 9 force damage.
Your spiritual weapon basically passes through him. I know it's not substantial; it's just like energy. So as it passes through him, it tears through him like paper, and he is no longer substantial. In other words, Orban goes down. He goes down hard, and in his last breath, he smiles, and he says, "Well fought, Ulrich." And he thuds to the ground.
And as an action,
Uh-huh.
I think Ulrich is going to, as a free action, he's going to grab that tablet.
Yep.
As an action, and gosh, I guess I can't really stow it out in action though. I have nothing really to stow it in. Oh man, I need 2 hands to use my axe. Just thinking about the logistics here. No one's around, so I'm gonna also lay on hands on myself, and I'm going to use 21 points for that.
Okay.
And I am back at full health.
Because you got damaged by a 21.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I'm gonna try and like, is there like a bag in here anywhere?
Not in this room. He has the carrying case on his
Okay.
remember the bag that he had hanging from his belt, basically.
Right, and that
The
would
fanny
fit
pack.
the tablet.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I grabbed that.
Okay. It's like a
And,
side
like,
saddle type thing.
oh yeah, yeah. Put it on. Stow the tablet.
Yeah, it looked
then-
like it was like a nice and small like carrying case for him, but for you it's like a real horse's side saddle. It's big. It's a big bag.
What's up with his weapon?
All right. His weapon. You know what? I closed that too soon. Let me open that back up. I don't know why I closed it. That was silly of me. All right. So he is still medium, so the axe is your size, as in like you'd be able to wield it without disadvantage. It seems to be made of a dark stone. It's a shiny stone. It's dark as in black. It almost looks like glass. It seemed to have an easier time of hacking through the table than your axe might.
Yeah, I think. Oh man, I think I'm gonna try and like wear my axe on my back like I usually would. I'm not going to have his axe in my hand.
Okay.
And I'm going to. There were other rooms here.
Yes.
I'm gonna try and like look in these rooms, just kind of see if I know anything of importance.
Okay. Which room do you start with?
The northernmost.
Okay. The room that Orban did not go in during the meeting.
Correct.
That room seems to be Orban's living quarters. In it is the map that you damaged earlier, as well as the map that you drew on, as well as the map of Relic.
Great, I take all of those.
Okay. There's a
Are
bed.
they able to fit?
Go ahead.
Are they able to fit in the his satchel?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Other than that, like, you could go through the drawers and things like that if you'd like. There is furniture in there.
No. I.
He seems to have a collection of rocks on top of on a table in the room. They're all unique looking and different, each one of them.
You know what? I am just going to quickly cast Detect Magic.
Mm-hmm.
Just so that I have that. It's a concentration. It's verbal somatic, so I didn't need my component pouch for this. In his room, none of our stuff seems to be here, so
Correct.
I am going to, but I'm going to have the ability to go, to sense some magic. Do I sense any magic within 30 feet of me?
The walls of this structure seem to be faintly magical.
Interesting.
You can't see anything outside of this room in terms of like it's blocked by a foot of stone.
Yeah.
I'll just read straight
That makes
from
sense.
it. But the stone itself seems to also have a faint magic to it.
That is interesting. May I ask what kind? I think I get what kind, right?
So
no, I don't.
You
I don't actually.
Not until you concentrate for longer, right?
I'm sorry. If you sense magic, you can use your action to see a faint aura. That's interesting.
Yeah, so you can use. So you could stop and
Yeah.
and detect.
Oh yeah. You do learn at school. Yeah. So I do stop. Yeah.
All right.
I use my action.
Da, 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 da.
Sorry.
Yep, you're fine. I think it's going to be enchantment.
Okay. Cool. On to the next room.
Yep. Oh, look, there's a familiar bag in there. So there. This looks like the armory. The person that was in there watching the screen, presumably is elsewhere right now because the room is empty, which is why you weren't attacked by somebody else while you were attacking Orban. Yeah, in that room you find your bag.
Good.
Now, I will also note that the satchel that you took from Orban does also have the book.
Oh, good. Okay, good. So I'll just put that in my stuff. Book. The walls. Then, yeah, I mean, obviously, I grabbed my satchel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see in there my crossbow. I see in this room my crossbow bolts, my shield, my mace.
So, I will say this: your crossbow bolts and crossbow, and any weapons that you weren't actually returned to you, were any of them magical?
No, I have no magical weapons.
So there is several crossbows within the armory, but there's no crossbow with your stuff. So
okay.
You can
I mean, yeah, I grab a crossbow and some bolts. Let's say 20 bolts if I see like a quiver.
Okay. The armory is not fully stocked as a heads up. It's like it's actually fairly sparse, but there is still plenty of weaponry in there.
Okay, that's good to know.
Like you can, I'm saying sparse because it's like 1/4 full.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not looking to plunder too much. Just trying to kind of recoup some of
Yeah.
what I lost. Um, I actually only had 4 bolts at the time. Uh,
Well,
so
now you
if
have
I,
20, so
yeah, thank you. Um, what about my shield? Do I see my shield?
it's a great shield, correct?
It was just a basic shield with my family crest on it.
Okay. That is missing.
Oh, okay. Frustrating. Are there any other shields in there?
There are some basic shields, yes.
Okay, I grab a shield.
So your family crest shield seems to have been either utilized, taken, or is somewhere else in the camp.
I'm gonna change it to now say uh, facing. um, All right, I have a shield, and I assume there is a mace in here as well.
There is. In
I
fact, there's
now have
only
those.
one mace.
Okay. Was it mine, or is
It's
it just
it's
a?
it, you recognize it. It looks exactly like yours. It even has that
Okay.
notch right above the handle.
Oh, good. Um, and then finally, in my bag, does everything seem to still be there, in particular the globe of location?
The globe of location is there. It seems to be undisturbed. There is um, a um, a stone that's also in your ring or in your box, in your bag. There we go. So in
Stone.
addition to your normal stuff, there is a stone in there as well.
Um, do I sense magic on that?
Yes,
What
that's
kind of
why
magic?
that's why I'm pointing it out because you have it. Yeah. Um,
What kind of magic?
do 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 do.
And follow up question: are there any other magical items in this?
It's a divination school.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That rock is going right out the bag.
Okay.
Um,
And then looking at your equipment, the bag itself, since it's a bag of holding, right?
yes, it is.
So that's glowing. Um, in fact, I guess you're gonna have to basically turn your bag inside out to see everything that's in it, right?
Yeah, I guess I did. Yeah.
Yeah. So the globe of location glows. The potion of healing glows. The bag of holding itself glows. Um, the axe you hold glows. Um,
What kind of magic on that?
um,
I, I will say I don't think like
yeah, it's.
yeah.
It's a basic +1.
Okay, cool. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I guess that's would that be enchantment probably? I think that'd be enchantment.
Yeah, or we're just I don't know.
Yeah.
I realized when I asked, I was like, oh, I don't know how I would answer that.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun,
I'm gonna
dun.
keep this backpack.
Yeah. That should be everything, I think.
Okay, cool. And is there anything else in this room that's magic?
I guess the gem that you got from Atlan is slightly
Yeah.
magical, but it doesn't seem to have a school attached to it. It's like the um, it's just got a magical aura to it. And
Right.
then obviously the head of shadow is not magical as it bounces around on the ground.
That is good to know. I'm gonna move the family grade X on into the bag of holding, and I've got as long as I've got it, the bag open. Um,
The silver box that had the rings in it is also slightly magical.
okay, but there's nothing in the armory aside from my own stuff.
Right.
Okay. Um, I think now is the time when I very discreetly am going to try and get the hell out of here. Um, so Rick is going to try. He's going to try and stealthily approach the exit and see if the way is clear.
All right. All right. So before we get too far into this, I'd like to know what your intentions are. Um, so, but I want to take a break because we're
Sure.
kind of due for one. We went 45 minutes in, and I want to make sure
Yeah.
we take that break. So when we come back, just think about like what your trajectory or path is. Like, are you trying to get as far away as possible from this mountain? Are you going to try and hide out until things die down so that you're not like, because it's night, so you're not sure if traveling through the night is going to be a good idea or not.
Sure. Yeah.
Things like that. And then when we get back, we'll talk through it.
Okay. Sounds good.
Those of you who are watching in chat, we'll be back in 10 minutes. Stick with us. Thanks. All right, and we are back. Back with the second half of the session, although it's more like the last third or quarter. So, Ulrich, you just killed the clan leader, or not the clan leader, the fortress leader, the chief, and took his stuff. So, what is your next move, my friend?
Slowly, thoughtfully move to the exit, make sure the coast is clear, sneak to the exit, make sure the coast is clear, and try and sneak to the outskirts as much as he quickly as he can. He's not going to go back for his chainmail. That's dead to him right now.
Okay.
Sorry, I
Interesting.
realized. Sorry, yeah, no, it for some reason listed me as still having my exhaustion, and I was like, that's weird since I did click the long rest button. That should not be there.
Right. All right. So I think the best way to do this is to set up some dudes. All right. Actually, he'd be right there. All right. So I have put out a number of guys on the first tier of the area. This is going to be more of a kind of a theater of the mind thing. I'm not going to use any visual stuff, so like you won't be able to like be blocked by stuff we're not going to do lighting today. So you the door is over here. You know that there's generally a guard at the door, but thankfully he did not hear the commotion inside, so he is still guarding by the exit or entrance of this structure.
Okay. I think seeing that guy. I think Ulrich would try. So I'm able to open the door and see this guy. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
He kind of turns and looks at you.
Okay, he sees me. So I'm just like,
It's a big door.
Orban.
It's a big oaken
yeah,
door.
Orban, you know, come in with me for a second.
Could you repeat that? You kind of broke up a little bit.
Orban asked me to get you.
Okay. He approaches you.
Yeah. I mean, I walk in
Okay.
and I'm trying to lead him in.
Sure.
Does the door open in or out?
Out.
Okay. I guess in that case, if it opens out, I'll like, all right, Orban asked to see you, and I'll like walk out and hold the door open for him. And as soon as he starts to walk in, I walk in behind him and close the door.
Okay.
And
yeah.
and I'm sure he sees the scene before him.
He does.
Yep.
All right. I'm gonna roll initiative to see whether he sees it first or if you close the door first.
Okay. Against my initiative, is that what's up?
Yeah.
Last time I got a 20 on my initiative,
Right.
plus the mod.
Edit this. Manage characters. For some reason, it hide. It unhid all the characters for this encounter, which is annoying. Save. Resume encounter. Alright, cool. Alright. Let's see what I roll.
Lower than a 4.
Alright. He rolled a 16, so he'll be going first. And you got a 4. Alright. He cries out. Shouting loudly. Orban's dead! He says. And he turns and he attacks you.
This before or after I close the door?
This will be like your round would be closing the door. So he's gone in.
In that case, I will not have followed him in. I'm instead trying. Okay.
So you're like here.
I'm like at the
him.
door. Yeah. Okay. He's gonna attack.
Yes. All right. So he got a 25. Swings his axe at you.
That'll hit.
And deals 5 points of damage. His second attack, he does an additional 9.
Okay.
He's already moved, so that's his round.
Okay. I think. I think what Ulrich is going to do before it opens out.
Yes. Strange, isn't it?
Yeah. I think he's going to. Screw it. The guy is going to be a problem if I don't deal with him, so he's gonna attack.
Okay.
And, actually, how long does that spiritual weapon last?
That's-
Just lasts for a minute, so
Yeah,
I'm gonna
it's
assume
fine.
that's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It took you a
26.
minute to put all your stuff back in your bag after you emptied.
Yeah, for sure. 26,
Yep, you hit him.
9 slashing.
Okay.
I don't really have the spell slots to be burning for stuff, so another 22.
Hit.
Okay, for additional 10 slashing.
Okay.
And if he is still up, I have.
So you're rolling with Orban's great axe. Did you add a +1 to that?
Yes, I
Good.
called it Orban's Great Axe, but it's a +1 axe.
Good.
Yeah, I guess I got nothing really else to do. I'm as a free action, I have moved in and closed the door, but I'm like blocking the doorway.
Okay.
And I obviously don't have the shield equipped because I just gotta actually equip that because I have to wield the axe.
Right.
That's it.
The closest guard to you, outside, hears the commotion, and turns to see you attacking the other guard.
Okay. Like through a window or
You're still in the doorway, aren't you?
sorry. As I said, I may not have said it clearly.
Oh.
I'm in the doorway in the sense that like I've come in and closed the door.
Mm-hmm.
As my free action.
Oh, I see.
So I'm
okay.
still.
You had said at
Yeah.
one point that you're like, well, I guess I'm yeah. Okay, so you closed the door.
Yeah, I was just debating whether I could like lock him in here somehow, and I couldn't really think of a good way to achieve that.
He's
so.
mainly coming to investigate because he heard the other guard. So if he didn't see you, then never mind. You don't see him approaching.
Okay.
The other guard that you're fighting makes 2 hits. The first attack is 12 damage. The second attack is 11 for a total of 23.
This guy should be the. Should have been the clan leader, or the fortress leader.
Yeah, some pretty good hits there.
All right, yeah. I mean, Ulrich's gonna continue.
Yep.
It's a crit.
Yep.
So that does 28 slashing, magical slashing. And if the guy's still up, 19.
It's a hit.
And that'll be an additional 9 slashing.
Okay. He's looking pretty haggard, but he's still up, and he makes a return attack at you. He's gonna try and push back open the. You just shut the door, right?
Yeah, I'm like standing right in front of it.
Okay. He's
like,
gonna
trying
he's
to,
gonna
like,
try
in
and
here.
push you through the door. So I guess that's a bull rush.
Oh. Okay.
He knows that one-on-one you're powerful, so he's going to try and get you out because he knows he's got backup. So there's no bull rush in 5e, I know that much. So he's doing a contest of strength.
Okay, so this is like a shove.
Yeah. So roll strength.
Or just straight strength or athletics, sorry.
I guess.
It's just,
yeah, it would be.
If it's straight
athletics.
strength, it's just it can. I up to you. I was just I clicked that.
Okay.
By mistake.
So if you did athletics, I'll do athletics. I'm gonna use my original roll and just add 2 because I have the +6, not +4 of strength.
Okay.
But that's not enough, and he kind of tries to push into you and is unable to make you budge. You're just kind of like, nope, friend.
So shove in 5e only replaces one of your attacks, like
Right.
grappling.
Correct. And he attacks you for another 11.
Oof.
Yeah, he's rolling pretty well.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna retaliate for 28 to hit and 18 slashing.
He's down.
Okay. And then Ulrich is going to open the door.
I'm gonna say this. Somebody seems to be trying to open the door as you take care of this guy.
Okay.
You hear somebody. You hear somebody on the other side saying, in Goliath, "Hello, Orban."
Yeah, I'm gonna try my best to mimic Orban's voice. I don't have mimicry or anything like that. I'm literally just trying to be
Orban,
like
Rugar, anyone? Hello.
Or you know what? Just any Goliath voice, I guess, really doesn't. And Goliath.
Hold on. We're dealing with something here. We're roughing up the prisoner, the ward. He's talking mean. Give us a minute.
Are you performing or deceiving?
I mean, I'm not trying to be anyone other than just kind of myself. It's the same role no matter what.
Yeah.
So, 21.
Okay. All right. He says, "What was that noise?"
Ari was crying out for pain.
All right. Well, I'll be out here if you need me. And he doesn't say anything else.
Okay. I think at this point, Ulrich is going to, try and maybe drag. Like, there's a table in the middle here, so it's kind of like obscuring the view of Orban.
Yeah. In fact, I can give you a table.
Okay. I mean, ultimately, I'm just thinking, like, I think he'll try and move the other body, the other guard, somewhere so that, like, when the door is opened, it's not obscured. Sorry, he's not, like, in plain sight. He's obscured a little bit.
Yeah. Are you gonna try and move him to? You know what? Let me put this table layer to back. There we go. Are you gonna try and move them into another room? Are you trying to hide them under the table? Like,
I think just
the table also,
you know,
as the note is damaged.
Yeah,
the corner closest to
know.
Orban.
yeah, I think I think he will just we'll just try and like assuming the door opens like here. I don't know if it opens like this or if it
It's
opens
technically two. It's a double door.
double door. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, as a double door makes this much more complicated.
Sorry to make that hard on you.
No. I mean, that's the situation.
Right?
I think he'll try and drag this guy into, one of the rooms, into the barracks, the armory, rather.
Okay. So, soldier, the guard that was at the front, you're
Yep.
dragging into the barracks. Give me a strength.
Sure.
It's a big dude.
Just a 7.
Okay. Try as you might, he doesn't. He seems a lot heavier now that he's dead weight on the ground.
Okay. Thinking quickly, then Ulrich is going to instead just rip down one of the curtains in here and throw it over that body.
Okay.
Do the same thing with Orban and the other curtain.
Okay.
And Ulrich is going to try. Ulrich's going to just in using Goliath and trying to kind of disguise his voice a little bit.
All right, get on back out of here. Don't talk that way again.
And then he's gonna try and exit as quickly and close the door behind him as quickly as he can.
Okay. I guess stealth check would probably be the best fit for this.
Sure.
Right? You're just trying to nonchalantly go. The only other thing I could think of is like sleight of hand, but that's the same thing for you.
Yep.
So.
It's a 15.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah, so as he comes out, is the other Goliath there?
Yeah, the Goliath is like right in front of the door, kind of just he kind of took the place of the other guy. Generally, you assume that there's always got to be somebody here at this building,
Yeah.
so he kind of left his post to take over. He immediately, as the door opens, turns around to look at you, and he kind of looks past and in as you are closing the door quickly. He notices the curtain on the ground. Give me a high or low. Which would you prefer?
Hi.
All right. He does not recognize that it's a person. He just sees the curtain on the ground. He kind of looks down at you with a glare.
I didn't like what I had to say. I'm sorry. I'm heading back. And going back to my hut.
He just continues to wordlessly glare at you. and kind of watch as you continue to move.
Ulrich's going to move in the general sensible direction towards his hut, so to speak.
Okay. So to get to your hut, you'll need to go around the hill twice.
Mm-hmm.
There's also so you can either walk along the pathway, or you could be more suspicious and choose to climb down the cliff face several times.
At this time, as if I had been more intelligent and just said, "All right, he's done with me," to the guy outside the first time, no one has a reason to suspect that I am not permitted to do stuff.
Correct.
So, just going to nonchalantly walk along the path.
Okay.
If I see a moment where maybe no one else seems to be around, Ulrich may realize that he has his axe on his back. It's not a great thing, so he will stow that into his bag of holding.
Yeah. Yep. Good call. And you're making your way down the path?
Yep.
All right. So are you indeed going to go to your hut?
No, I mean, the first chance that I can navigate towards a perimeter of this that looks the most unguarded, I will do that.
Okay. So based on your tour of the fortifications and things like that, you know that there's pretty much no blind spots in the fortress, but the fortress is currently running on more of a skeleton crew, as most of the soldiers have gone south. Where they're going south, you were not made aware, just to meet others in the allied clans that are gathering for conquest or the campaign at hand, or perhaps to find and rout out more people that are in the barbarian lands. Who knows? Whatever the case might be, fortunately for you, there's not as many Goliaths, but there's still probably around 30 here in the fortress. Well, correction, 28.
Okay. Yep.
So from where you are, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on this level. You're going to be traveling along a familiar route, and you can continue to start working your way down it. As you're going to be heading along past the caves where you were initially kept. You actually pass right above where your hut is, down this way. Things like that. There are guards kind of keeping an eye on the area. Did you, sorry.
I'm just moving it about, but
Yeah. There are guards keeping an eye on the area at several points along the path, but no one really questions you walking around. For as far as they know, you're still a ward.
Yeah, Ulrich is just going to continue.
Okay, so you're on the lowest level. From here, you'd normally go up to get to the hut that you're at, where there are other living quarters. There are also living quarters along this lower section here. This lower area seems to be the busiest of the levels, because there's the most room for people to set up camp or to live.
Okay.
But where you are right now is also fairly close to the beacon light, so there is visibility here from the guard up here, and I don't have all the guards mapped out, obviously, but
Of course.
you can see plenty of people around.
So this is not a good point to run because I'm pretty
I mean,
visible.
yeah, but I will say this: you could wrap around and try and go from the other side, but your dilemma right now is leave where it's very visible, or go past a lot of Goliaths that might
Question what I'm doing.
that if an alarm rang out while you're in the middle of them might cause you some trouble.
Yeah.
So you're kind of in that debate right now.
Where do people usually relieve themselves?
1 second. I think my cat needs to relieve himself.
Okay.
Go on. Here comes Benji. So there's several like little divots where Goliaths tend to go that are kind of carved into the side of the mountain as like small latrines or private latrines. They're mainly around this living area.
Are there any on my level where I normally
Yes.
live?
Yes.
I think Ulrich will move up towards his level
Okay.
and try and past his hut. My thought process is I want to probably go this direction.
Yeah.
And as soon as like gets kind of to this rock, he's going to really try and like start hugging the walls. Now not so much being chalant as trying to sneak.
Okay.
Nonchalant. I mean, he's going to be chalant now.
All right. So I rolled a 2 for a reason. I believe that's going to be 2 rounds. So as you get about where you are, a familiar horn rings out. The same horn that rung out when the Goliaths alerted the other Goliaths that there was a battle in your first encounter with them. You hear it from up on top of the hill, up on top of the mountain. Presumably, someone has discovered your hastily covered friends. The camp comes alive at this point, although where you are, you're still kind of shaded in this area. You see that down below, people are coming out of their areas or kind of coming to attention and starting to head up the hill to find out what's going on.
Okay,
And you're gonna continue with this method of going out this way?
as long as I see no one resisting me. or like that would be impeding my travel. Yes.
Okay. So most of the Goliaths that are in this area are now turning their attention upward or heading up the hill to find out what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point again, he's trying to like sneak,
Yeah.
and he's just trying to like sneak his way down.
Let's do some stealth then. Fortunately, you're not wearing chainmail, so that works to your favor.
Yeah, this is not disadvantage. 17.
Horat, as you travel this way, exits the hut that you live in and begins heading up.
Okay. Good.
He did not see you.
Good. I'm going to continue until I am impeded.
Okay. To get down this here. Actually, no, you'll be fine there. Yeah, you'll be fine. Actually, you know what? Give me a climb check here.
Yeah, sure. Yep.
I illustrated that for a reason. Cool. You easily scale down the rocks. They're there's many handholds as people have climbed up and down this rock face plenty of times. So it's almost like a ladder to you. From there, you can either climb down again, or you can take the path this way and this way.
I think he would go to the ledge just to see if there's anyone around.
Okay.
Again, trying to be stealthy.
There is somebody guarding the path here and here, while their attention is distracted because they hear the commotion going on here. They're not leaving their post for obvious reasons.
Yep. I think what he would do is kind of like, again, continuing to stealth this direction, then see if there's anyone,
To the south.
along this path. Yeah.
There's one Goliath here. The rest have gone up.
Okay.
He's also looking outward, not toward your direction. Like that.
Yep. I think Ulrich would continue to stealth this way and grab a stone and throw it this direction.
Okay.
Try and draw this guy's attention.
Let's see how well you throw that rock, how accurately you throw it.
Oh, sure. Range attack, huh?
Yeah, let's do it.
Is that right? Is that right? Yes, it is. I'm just going to use the crossbow.
Yep, that's fine.
I guess it's something I'm not proficient with, so I'll just use my dex 20.
Okay, perfect. You throw the rock. It lands about here. All right. So here's the thing. He doesn't hear it.
then I think Ulrich is going to sneak up behind this guy.
Okay.
And I guess I don't know if I can get down on this level behind him, but
Yeah, you it's kind of an angle, so right there is like level with him.
um, I think he's gonna try and this guy. Um, yeah, gonna try. I mean, he's gonna use the command spell on this guy,
Okay.
and that's a Wisdom 15 save, and my command is flee.
Your command is what?
Flee.
Flee.
Yep.
All right.
You know what? You know what?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna say flee. Just gonna leave it at that.
What
It's
were you
just one
thinking
turn.
about?
No, it's not worth it. Just thinking about any alternative that I might. I think flee is my best option here.
Get him away from you so you can get away from him.
Yeah.
All right. Since he can't flee off of a cliff because that would be harmful to him, he begins fleeing this way.
Okay.
All the while screaming, "The ward! He's escaping!
Yeah.
Down here!" Which
And
is what
at
you
this
were
point,
of, I assume, right?
yeah, I was thinking about whether I can do like hush. I mean, the moment that he starts to flee, though, because I mean, I can't kill him in one shot. I know I can't kill him in one shot. So hush wasn't really worth it. Anyway, the moment he starts to flee, I'm running full tilt.
Okay.
Jumping off and trying to like just sprinting.
Sure. Let's get an athletics.
That's only a 10.
You're gonna land hard. But you only take 4 points of damage. So you don't do any lasting damage, you just kind of like land hard, bruising yourself. And you keep going off the
yeah, I'm just running as quickly as I can.
While you're running, it's late enough in the night that you hear a voice in your head. "Ulrich, it's me, Jordan. In the morning, be ready. I'm coming for you. Where can I land?" And that's the end of the message.
Hopefully southeast of the camp. I'm already out.
And that's the only message you get, because that's how message works. Actually, Let me look at
Is it like sending or?
Yeah, sending.
Okay.
It's the 25 word limit thing.
Yep.
Let's see. I have one more slot. I can only go to a place that I'm familiar with. I was going to teleport to the cells and go to you from there. Where to?
Meet me where they, meet me where they caught us.
Okay. Okay. You are.
Or actually, sorry, just error because I guess I was passed out during most of that time. And you couldn't see where they actually. Let me rephrase that. But we could see this place from when they caught us, right?
You mean the fortress?
Yeah.
You could
There
see
were
the
the
fortress.
fires.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, cool. So I would have probably a decent enough chance of finding my way back here.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sprinting full tilts. Let's see.
All right. So, yeah. So what we're gonna do is, you're no longer even trying the subtlety of stealth. You're just trying to get the fuck out of Dodge. Correct.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, after it's for the first little bit, absolutely. Um, once I have a feeling that I'm kind of past the line of sight for that guy who I said fleeing, who apparently is hard of hearing, I will, um, I will, try and stealth again. But initially, it's just like gotta get distance.
Right. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna do this in this way, and we're gonna actually start up session next time with Jordan appearing and getting you and so on. What we will do from here is you've got about 28 Axe Clan members that are after you. Obviously, not all of them can go, so they'll probably form a team of 12 or so, which is their normal hunting party, where the rest will secure the base. For them to organize and do that, I'd say you'd have probably about 2-3 minutes at least of a lead time. But they know the land better, and they probably have a faster move speed than you. Let's double check that. No, similar move speed. All right. So I'm gonna have you make a series of rolls, the theme of which is on you, depending on what you would like to do. So, if you were just straight up running, I'd like you to make athletics checks. If you are trying to be stealthy once you get apart so that you're not as easily followed, I'd like you to make stealth checks. But in either of these cases, what I'm trying to do is kind of set the scene for your travel, because you're exhausted right now. Like you just, you.
Oh, I took a level of exhaustion.
Well, I guess so. Like you're not resting, right? So,
Yeah, that's fair.
you'll have a level of exhaustion for this, but like, I mean more like you just spent a day, being questioned and digging holes, trenches. So like, now you're running full tilt through the forest at night. Can you see at night?
Ooh, I don't have dark vision.
Yeah, so that's gonna slow you down a little bit too.
Yep.
Um,
Hey.
huh.
I don't
Yeah.
know if I would know that. Just
Say that again.
can they see at night? I don't know if I would know that.
Um, let me double check that, because I'm not quite certain. In fact, I'll just do dark. See if I find anything. Nope. Vision. Traits. It doesn't say that they do. Let me, Goliath, dark vision. You have dark vision out to range of 60 feet. So, it seems like for Goliath, yeah.
Huh.
So it seems like they, when they were watching outs. Oh, this is nope. That's a a homebrew.
Okay.
Dark vision, the summoning grounds. Let's see. This might have it. Goliath do not. Elemental Evil Planner's Companion says so. Good to know. Alright, so, which explains why there's a beacon signal and why the Goliaths carry torches. So, I'm glad I was accurate there. But now we know that you're at least on even footing. Are you going to use anything to light your path? Or are you just going full tilt?
So full tilt for the start, and then Ulrich's going to do something kind of silly as he gets further on.
Okay.
And that is so as I said initially, he's going to try and like put some distance as quickly as he can.
Yeah, let's roll that first check then, for that first one.
13.
All right.
Oh, you know what though? I have an exhaustion level, I guess. So
That's true.
How much? It's a disadvantage. So let's see if it can get any worse.
You don't.
Can't. So.
Your hasty travels south, or southwest, in the dark, warrant you 9 points of damage as you travel.
Okay. Yeah. Bumping into trees and such.
Yep.
Once I feel I've got some distance, I'm going to light a torch and then throw that torch to the east.
Okay.
And then going to run again.
Okay.
Obviously not towards the torch, but away from it.
Yes. All right. Give me another athletics check. We're going to be doing 4 of these. This is your second.
14 this time.
All right. So close to getting 1. You take 4 points of damage as you kind of trip and fall twice in your hurry. It's almost as if like you lighting the torch actually kind of half blinded you for a second, so like you like turn and smack right into a tree before you continue speeding out into the jungle.
This time, I think Ulrich is going to stop once again and throw another torch. You know what? Actually, he's going to now instead of running, he's going to try and stealth towards the southeast.
He's going to try and stealth. Okay.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's going to try and be kind of stealth. Trying to think about this. He'll run towards the southeast. He'll heal himself first.
Okay.
As an action.
Yeah.
He's got that ability.
I gotta drain your resources, right?
Yep. He's got to heal up for 14 points. And he is going to run to the southeast this time. And once he's 22 for that. Once he kind of like has gone some distance, he'll light a torch, just drop it, and then he's going to stealth away from here. Direction that he feels he should be heading.
All right. So you rolled athletics. Did you mean to roll stealth?
The first from where he was healing, he's going to run to the southeast.
Okay.
Just kind of like thinking about the fact that he might be, even though he threw that torch, which was lit, that might start a fire or it might burn long enough for someone to come across it or spot it or anything. They may also spot his stupidity in the earth, right?
Right.
So he's now running to the southeast.
Okay.
Of course, the most graceful run he's done so far.
Yeah, and this could be attributed to it's starting to get lighter as dawn is coming. It's not fully there, but it's like, it's not dusk because dusk's the end, so dawn is the correct term.
Dawn's right. Well, as soon as he gets to a certain distance, he's going to light another torch, just drop it. Then he's going to start stealthing to the southwest or to whatever direction it is he feels he's supposed to be going.
Okay.
To get to the rendezvous.
All right, give me a stealth.
That's
a 15.
15, yeah.
All right. You begin carefully making your way through the forest, trying your best not to disturb any branches or step in any mushy ground. It keeps the rocks and things like that. At some parts, you find yourself unable to really avoid anything, and you can't help but leave a couple traces of yourself, but you hope that it's enough that they won't be able to follow you or know that you're heading this way. Being that Orban questioned you without witness, you're not even sure of what they do or don't know, what he's told them. Obviously, they probably know something based on the fact that he wasn't the only one monitoring the group, but now that you've taken a lot of the stuff and Orban's dead, you're confident that they probably aren't going to know that you're going to be heading this direction, especially. You might even infer that they might be heading south to try and cut you off from you traveling to your group. Um, but careful makes the cat wiser, right? So I just made that up on the spot. Dawn breaks, and you find yourself in a familiar valley. You see statues kind of sprawling out in the distance in every direction. You're kind of overlooking it from the opposite side of where you overlooked it the last time you encountered this valley. You marvel to think that Goliath carried you unconscious throughout that trek that you just took, blindly through the forest at night. So, but here you are, back in the valley.
All right. Well, that
So
all went swimmingly.
I guess the last thing to do is try and discern where it was that you were taken. Now, the structure that you were near seemed to be a kind of a ruins of sorts. So that's kind of what you're going to be looking for. But I'm guessing a survival check's what you want here, because now you're searching out something specifically.
It's 13.
All right. So you know the general direction to travel, but you don't exactly find it itself as you start rummaging through the valley trying to find the exact location. And that's where we're going to leave it for tonight, with you combing the valley for the location Jordan's going to appear at this morning.
Oh, Josh, if I had been more intelligent, I did think about for a minute trying to drag Orban to his bed, put him in his bed. But I was like, he broke the table, though, so I do feel like people might escape further anyway. And there's probably blood about.
You had a classic Taskmaster incident happen to you. What happened is, all of a sudden, everything was happening, and you knew you needed to act, and you just, you were acting. You were just acting.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily the best decisions, because you're thinking about, oh, I could have done this, I could have done this, but it was the decision you made in the moment, and that's what matters.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, well, I debated with myself in that moment about
Right.
putting him in his bed, and then I was like, nah, let's just do this.
yeah, and I mean, that might have taken more time, and you might have
Yep.
ended up getting captured or something like that instead, or
Yep.
even attacked and killed. So, who knows? But what I do know is you were successful in many different ways tonight, even if you overall thought or wanted it to go differently. Here we are. So, excellent session, though.
Well, yeah, thank you.
And you know what? You are set up for the return of Ulrich next session, and that's exciting.
All right, now I get to play 2 characters going forward, right?
I will be taking over Gormir if Ulrich rejoins the party, but I will do my best. I will do my best to talk as Gormir does.
Just be grumpy.
Yes.
It's the way.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much.
I appreciate you bearing with me on this little side quest that Ulrich had. But in the end, I think Ulrich, like, this adds so much to the campaign in terms of like information you've gathered and new insight. And in the meantime, you got to play a third group's person, so you even got even more insight on the kind of setting from that angle too. So pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you very much, Josh.
Thank you. So everybody out there in Twitchland, we will be back in a week for the grand reuniting of the group, some way, shape, or form. We're where Jordan will be appearing somewhere in the valley, and then they're going to have to try and find each other. So we'll see what happens then, but in the meantime, have a safe week. Ulrich, as always, thanks for joining me, and we'll see everyone on August 2nd here on the channel, where we'll be doing our next session, and then we'll be getting back to normal the session after that. So you guys get lucky in that way. We've kind of been off a little bit, but we will be back to normal very shortly. All right.
That's right.
Have a good one. Bye, everyone.